Mike left me to say the URL because he couldn't remember the episode number.
Thank you. Arigato.
The Your Own Pay Podcast Network. Inspiring, motivating, and educating entrepreneurs around the world. It's Demasi and Michael, just talking tech.
Hey, welcome back to the Demasi and Michael Just Talking Tech show. This is your host, Demasi Thomas, joined as always by Michael Babcock. So you may have noticed we took a week off last week. Life happens, stuff happens, but we're back. So Mike, how's it going, man?
Oh, it's going amazing, especially after that quick break. Hey, you can follow me on Twitter at Pam, P-A-Y-O-W-N. How can they follow you, man?
Oh, yeah, I'm at Demasi. See, when you take some time off, man, you kind of forget the flow. So today we want to talk to you about extending your hard drive. Now, what does that mean? What I mean by that is we all have cloud storage somewhere. And these days, most of us have an SSD. Sometimes it's large and you can get everything on there. Sometimes not so big and you can't get everything on there. Me personally, I have a laptop. Mike has a laptop. I don't like walking around with a bunch of external hard drives and flash drives and stuff like that.
Defeats the purpose.
It absolutely does. If I'm sitting down to make a backup, check out the backup episode if you didn't get that. We had to make sure we have backups now. But not wanting to have hard drives and flash drives and all that, plus especially with the cloud storage that's available, I set out to figure out how to extend my hard drive. So I wanted to be able to access my files in Google Drive and OneDrive and Amazon S3 and all that, and use that storage to extend my hard drive. So today we're going to talk about a few apps that allow you to do that, and maybe some more methods that may work for you.
But before we get into that, it's important that people realize if you're anything like Demasi and myself, you can use third-party applications to connect to these services, but you still have to browse your files in a third-party application. And really, why do you need to leave your Finder or launch bar?
Exactly. And so the two apps that we're going to talk about, possibly three, just because I should put the word out about it, what they are going to allow you to do is actually mount that external storage on your Mac as if it were a external drive. So it shows up in Finder, is navigatable. I don't think that's a word, but you can navigate it just as you would any other Finder folder. And since me and Mike are both launch bar users, we can also navigate it from a launch bar and use all the advantages of that. So the first app we're going to talk about is Cloud Mounter. And this is an app that I have used for a couple of years off and on. It's really become more important and more critical to my workflow today than it used to be. And I introduced Mike to it. Mike, what did you think of it, and are you using it?
I am not using it. But when I originally looked at it, I asked myself, why do I need this? However, that was before I got set up with B2 and during our S3 adventure. At that time, I didn't have a need for it, but I saw the reasoning why you might want to use it. One of the things I really liked about it was how seamlessly it integrates with the Finder.
Yeah, that's one of the things I truly love about it, because you can set it up so that when your computer launches. So let me back up and give you guys a little bit more information about what Cloud Mounter is. It's an application, but once you launch it, it runs from your menu bar, and you add different connections to cloud storages. So, Dropbox, Google Drive, OneDrive, all those. You can even mount FTP servers in the Finder. And what it does when you make a connection and you say connect, that window is now available in your Finder and is browsable, just like, your home folder or your applications folder or your desktop on the Mac, which makes it super easy to extend your hard drive, because you have this thing that looks like it's an external drive mounted, but it's your cloud storage, which is awesome.
And two, you can also use Apple's built-in Quick Look feature, which happens to be my favorite feature of Finder and Launch Bar. If you happen to be anything like me, you will exit an application and save your documents as, I don't know, Untitled 1 or Untitled 2 or Untitled 74. QuickLook will give you an opportunity to quickly open that file and see what's in it. Cloud Mounter is $29.95 for you if you're interested. Well worth the investment, especially if you're starting to move a lot of your files off your hard drive, like I am, thanks to Demasia's advice on B2.
The nice thing about that is, if you're in a situation where I currently find myself, where I'm working off of a smaller SSD, I don't want to sync Google Drive and try to deal with the selective sync options to choose this folder to sync, but not that folder. And it never really is as granular as you would like it to be. And the other app that we also want to talk about today, which is Mountain Duck, and it does a very similar thing to Cloud Mounter, runs through your menu bar, allows you to select different cloud storages to connect to. Michael brought up an interesting point, which was, when he first looked at Cloud Mounter, he thought to himself, why would I need this? And when I first looked at it, I had the same thought, why would you need this? I don't want to mount an FTP server in my drive on my computer. And I'm syncing Dropbox at the time. Now, working from a smaller SSD, that's one reason you may want to consider doing this or using an application like this, is you're working from a smaller SSD drive and you don't want to try to deal with selective sync with a cloud service like Dropbox or Google or Box or any of those. You want to be able to access all of your files no matter where they happen to be. This makes it super easy. Like I said, Mountain Duck as well as Cloud Mounter are both recommended apps for me. The only difference that I have seen between the two of them at this point is Mountain Duck and Cloud Mounter connect to some different drives. So they have a lot in common: Dropbox, Google, OneDrive.
They all work in the same general principle. That is, if you put files in the cloud and you choose to synchronize those files with your devices, then that service is going to place that file on your computer. So if you have a small one like Demasi, hard drive that is, then you need to be aware of how much space each of the files in your cloud is taking up, even if you have 1 terabyte. When you're synchronizing it with your computer. However, using a service like Mountain Duck, one of my favorite applications, you can be able to fill up your entire hard drive that you have in the cloud, or extensively use the B2 or S3 service and not worry about how big it is or how much space you're using. You mentioned it earlier, Demasi. I'm wondering, have you used Mountain Duck, and what do you think of it?
I have used Mountain Duck, and I do like it. It is a very nice app. I have primarily been using Cloud Mounter myself lately. Then at some point, it's possible that Mountain Duck will add the feature that has me currently using Cloud Mounter mostly. And that's the fact that with a lot of the cloud services, Google Drive and Dropbox specifically, you're able to get some of that Finder integration back that you have when you're syncing directly with those services. So I can quickly copy a link for a Google Drive file using Cloud Mounter, and I don't think that that's quite possible yet with Mountain Duck. Also, Cloud Mounter, and I think Mountain Duck also has this. I actually didn't look far enough into it. The ability to encrypt your files or a group of files or folders on your external cloud storage.
I don't remember either, but remember, you can encrypt your file locally and then upload the file via Mountain Duck or another application. As Demasi and I mentioned in the backup episode, it's important to have an offsite copy of your data, but you want it to be encrypted. You don't want anyone just snooping through that. Hey, Demasi, so we've talked a bit about these two apps. Is there anything else you want to mention related to expanding your hard drive?
Nothing specific about these two apps. They're both great. Like I said, look at the feature set. They both offer free trials and see which one fits your cloud needs the best. I do want to bring up a third application that falls into this same category of applications right now, and that is Expand Drive. You can find it at expanddrive.com. However, Expand Drive has some serious voiceover accessibility problems. Perhaps that's something that we did not mention with Mountain Duck and Cloud Mounter. They're both fully accessible. I've not run into any accessibility issues using either one of those applications, whether it's setting them up or accessing their menus from the menu bar. But Expand Drive is an interesting application. Connects to, I believe, all of the storages, including B2. However, it is problematic to navigate and use. It is cross-platform. I know that they do have a Windows version of that application as well. The reason that I bring up Expand Drive is if you're looking for something like this, or you have been in search of an application like this, you're going to encounter Expand Drive at some point. It is going to come up in a Google search or in a forum or somewhere. Somebody's going to mention this application. And by all, accounts, it's a pretty good application, just not completely accessible. Yes, I have talked to their people, sent them emails, and no, nothing has happened as of yet as far as fixing that. So I just thought I would point that out. So if you do encounter it, you can be aware of that.
And I appreciate you letting me know that. See, it's chats like this that we hope can help you save the headaches that you don't need to go through. Hey, Demasi, what are we chatting about next week?
So next week, we're going to talk about Launch Bar. What's up, Marlon? You've been waiting for this one. So we're doing Launch Bar. Next week, we're going to tell you folks what it is. We mentioned it a lot. We're going to tell you what it is, how we use it. So get ready for that. Definitely coming up.
And something you're going to love. Anyways, follow me on Twitter at Payon, P-A-Y-O-W-N, and get today's show notes over on
yourownpage.com/DM24. And you can follow me on Twitter at Damasi, D-A-M-A-S-H-E, and we'll catch you guys next week.